Hello, everybody. James from JDM, and welcome to another edition of JDM Television. I want to review the Cookout Clash at Bowman Gray Stadium, which finally happened on Wednesday, and man, was it something. That's what I'll call it. I'll call it something. It was more like the Cookout Crash for a lot of it, especially when the rain started to fall, or sleet, or hail, or snow, whatever you want to make of it. But want to kind of go over it a little bit and kind of just review what happened. Eventually and inevitably, Ryan Preece ended up coming out on top, winning his first ever Cup Series race, which is not an official points race, it's an exhibition race, but a win nonetheless. Very emotional in the post race interview, dropping a few F bombs, which, I mean, in the moment, he was really elated. He got really emotional, crying, basically saying how he didn't really know if he was going to be even in the Cup Series at this time. So, again, really good job there by Ryan Preece being able to pull off the victory. And he did have a really good car, especially when it came to the end of it. I mean, this guy comes from a modified background, racing short track. So, not really surprised that he did come out on top. Given the conditions, but when it really came down to the end of it, when the track really started to dry up, he really pulled away and won the race. And a really nice looking car too, sponsored by Coca-Cola. William Byron ended up being second. He was strong throughout the entire event. Blaney was really good at the start, not really the best in wet weather conditions, so he kind of fell back onto a couple accidents, ended up finishing third. Daniel Suarez, who was kind of like the Mike Tyson of the race, he was landing so many punches on other drivers, but a good run there by Suarez, getting a top five. And then Danny Hamlin, again with a really beat up car, was able to pull out a top five. Chase Briscoe, he had a really strong showing early on, didn't really get the finish that he was looking for. Just trying to kind of go through the Hocevar. I mean, another driver that the Spire cars in general, they were very strong and aggressive. Not really, I'm surprised with Hocevar with the aggressiveness, but had a good run. Connor Zilic seemed like he was going to do, he was doing really good in the wet weather conditions, but as the track kind of dried up, he started falling back and got into a lot of incidents as well. Van Gisbergen actually led a bit of this race, but again, he prevailed in the wet weather conditions, and as the race kind of went on and dried up, so it was kind of a tale of two races. You have kind of the dry weather where certain drivers really excelled, and then you have the wet weather where drivers really excelled. So overall, it was an interesting race. A 200 lap race at Bowman Gray Stadium took 2 hours and 20 minutes to complete. The average speed of this, I don't think I've ever seen it this low, is 21.39 miles an hour. Yeah, interesting race nonetheless, but it is great to have NASCAR back at the end of the day. The future of the Clash, though, where do we go from here? Obviously, this is not going to be in probably till November, December this year. We're really going to kind of know what the story of the Clash is for next year. But I kind of went back and I made a video of this not too long ago, but we have to move away, I think, from Bowman Gray. I don't know if it's kind of just if drivers are just not really used to this type of racing anymore. It's kind of hard to say. Are we? I just really don't know how to put it. But in a sense, we have to go, I think, to a little bit of a bigger short track. Like I said, I'm talking like a New Smyrna, Kern Raceway in California, or just go back to Daytona. It's, I don't know if this car just doesn't really adjust in these conditions as the short track, but the racing is okay, but it's not great. You know what I mean? And I think that's kind of where we're at with the Clash. I mean, I think it's really cool that they did bring NASCAR back to its roots, but you can still have the roots, but have it on like a third mile or a half mile. You know what I mean? I think that's kind of what my thoughts are on that going forward. And I know the few of the fans that were like, this is really interesting that you had all these different weather weather conditions. I mean, it was cold and there was sleet falling, and it just made for a pretty interesting spectacle. But overall, the racing just wasn't the best. But that's my take on the Clash. Going forward, I mean, we have the Daytona qualifying, which is Wednesday, this coming Wednesday. The duels, which is next Thursday, and then trucks, O'Reilly, and then the big one, the Daytona 500 at Daytona International Speedway. Forecast there is looking pretty good. Probably temperatures in about the 60s and 70s throughout the week. A lot of sunshine, and hopefully it kind of stays that way, because I think NASCAR just went through an absolute nightmare at Bowman Gray Stadium with the snowstorm, and then just the cold temperatures, just having a lot of trouble getting the track in race ready conditions, and even the grandstands as well, with all the shoveling and cleaning up they had to do just to make it worthwhile for fans to come out and watch. And I mean, they had a good crowd there given the conditions of being in like the mid 30s Fahrenheit. So yeah, interesting event overall. Now we're shifting gears to Daytona and Speed Weeks, and not to mention we also have the ARCA running there, and a lot of big news coming out. I'm going to do a video of this probably either the weekend or early next week, just about the truck race, because this may be one of the most star-studded truck races in history, to be honest. I think the entry list should come out probably Monday or Tuesday, so I'll kind of go through that and just kind of show you the amount of star power that's going to be in the Craftsman Truck Series race in Daytona. It's absolutely incredible. But yeah, thanks everyone for watching, and we will see you later.